and welcome to this course or this lecture where we are going to do 10 quick Python projects and we're going to get a hands-on on these projects. So, the best thing you can do is you can play along, that is, you can follow along, you can code along with as and when I am coding. So, the first project which we are going to do is the address book in Python. So, let's get started. The first step which we are going to do is, or we are going to start with, is that we're going to make a dictionary, a context named dictionary. So I just type context, contacts, and then that is a dictionary. So dictionary is labeled as, is given as a in curly brackets. Okay, now I start adding some functions. I start creating some functions. The first function which I create is add contact, and that contact will have not a self, right? It will have name, it will have comma, it will have a phone number. The person will have a phone number, and then that person will have an email. Okay, so just close this function. Now these functions which we will add these functions, like the details of these functions at the end. So just right now we'll just pass. So that pass statement is like it doesn't do anything inside the code. It just lets you pass. Now the first thing is done. Now we have delete contact. So the add contact is done. Now we'll start with the delete contact, and that delete contact will have, like, it will take only the name. So we don't need these. So on the name, depending on the name, you can just delete that contact. And let's just pass this as well. Now we need to search the contact. So def, and then we have search contact or get contact, uh, CARCH, search contact. And that will also, like, you can search a contact depending on the name of the user itself. Okay, and let's just pass this as well. Okay, now the last one is, once you have all the contacts, you want to print the contacts. So we have def or show contacts or print contacts, whatever you want, like, to call them. So print underscore contacts, and the print underscore contacts won't have anything in place, like it won't accept anything because you are printing all the contacts together. So let's just pass this as well. Now what we do is we create a while loop, like while this is true, what we do is that we ask the user, or there is let's say a menu where the user can access the address book. Okay, or like the adding the contact, deleting the contact, searching the contact, and also printing the contact. So we start with the while statement, that is while, and then while this is true, while true, what we do is first we print something. So we have print, and then it will be the name of the like basically the title. So let's say this address book. So we just print the address book. The second one print statement will be the for the menu. So print, and then we have the first one. The first one is, if the user selects one or clicks one, it will be taken as the input as for add contact. So we have one space or one dot space and then add contact. So that's for the add contact. Now print, the second would be two dot, and then this would be delete contact. Yeah, as you guessed it right, this is delete contact. The third one is search contact. So we have print, and we have three dot, and then search contact. Yeah, the last one is print all contacts, the second last actually. Now we also want the user, or we also want to allow the user to quit at any point, at any moment, right? While he has just added a search, after a search query, or after the delete query, whatever. So we just first write print, and then the fourth option is print all the contacts. So 4 dot and then print contacts. The last one is print 5 dot, and that would be quit. So if the user wants to quit, that's the option, quit. Now, now while these are true, while this is displayed, now we have an input from the user, that is choice input. So let's say choice is equals to, and then we ask the user to be entering any one of these, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will have an if else ladder for that, right? So we have choice is equals to input, taking the input from the user, and then we ask the user and enter your choice, right? So enter your choice. Okay, so the user enters his or her choice. Now getting back to the getting back to the functions where we had the pass statement entered, let's just add the logic there for adding the contacts, deleting the contacts, and also searching the contacts and printing the contacts. So instead of this pass statement, let me start writing where I have contacts dictionary already created. So I have contact, and then from that contact I have name selected. Oh, okay, it is contact. S contact, I have selected the name is equals to, and that will have uh, it will have phone, which is this is the key, and the value would be the value of that variable would be phone itself, that is the phone number. And then after this we have email, which is equal to the email ID of the user, right? Now so we have added the user, and that name of that user has to be printed, right? So what we do is print, and we'll be using the f string method. So f, and then let's say double inverted commas, and we have the name in the curly brackets, that is the variable name of that user name. This has been added to your contact. Okay, so that's the logic, that's the thing for the adding of the contacts. Now we start with the deleting one. Okay, so now how do we delete that? We are deleting that contact depending on the name, right? So if name is or sorry, if name in contact, if name in contact, what do we do is mm, okay, ts contact, we delete, okay, we delete contacts and name, so that we are deleting that. And then what we do is print f, that the contact has been deleted. So we can use this, basically this statement here, and we can just copy and paste it here. We can just copy paste this statement here after the delete statement. Okay, that's the if statement. Okay, and we need to modify it. Has been deleted, and then this has been deleted. Okay, from your contacts, and then in after that we have an else statement. Okay, else, now if that name is found, then that name would be deleted, but if there is no name or no contact with that name, then we need to print something. So what is that is that this contact does not exist. Okay, so is not in your contact, is not in your contact, is not in your contact. Okay, so that's the query, or that's the logic for the deleting of the contact. Okay, now we are going to write the query for the search operation. Okay, or the code for the search operation. Again, we are searching it via the name itself. So if we have name in contact, again the same thing, we have name in contacts, what do we do is print the detail of that, right? So we print each and every detail of that person with that name. So we write print, and then with that print statement we use string itself, yeah, and we have Okay, the f string will be the start. So we have f string now this, and then we start with name, and that name has again from the contact name, like contact name, and then we have the phone number of the user. And okay, so that's the phone number of the user. And what else do we want? We want the email of that user, right? So we have the name and the phone number. So what are we printing here? We have some of the other error. Okay, now that error will go now once we complete this, and we have name. After that, we have email. So we need to make some changes here, that is contact f string, and these are the box brackets, the curly brackets here. And okay, so this is the name of the user, this is the phone number which we have it inside. The name is the variable here, phone number, and the okay, let's just try with the single inverted comma here, and maybe this would work. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's the print statement for searching the user or searching the contact. And then the same thing again, we like if that name does not exist, uh we print that f, and then inside that name, whatever name you entered is not in your contact list. Let's say contacts in your contacts. That's it. Okay, so almost halfway into the code now. Now the last logic is we want to print each and every name or each and every contact we have. So like what we do is for name, comma, contact in contact dot items. Okay, in contacts dot items, what we do is print, and again using the f statement or f string, what we do, we print, and then the same thing, contact phone, and then uh, contact phone. We don't need this, we just need contact phone, and comma, we need contact email. That's it. Okay, so we are done with the print contact statements as well. Now now we need to call these functions individually when the user asks, or when the user is when the user wants to let's say uh, he enters the choices of his own, like let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So first choice, if the user enters 1, so if the user enters 1, the user has to be given an option, that is, if the user's choice is, if the choice is equals to is equals to, mind you, equal statement is just to compare, equals is uh, equals is to assign, and equals is to compare. So the user has to be given an option for name first. So name is equals to, and then input, enter the name. So it won't be enter your name, it will be enter name, just name, because the user is entering some contact details, right? Then phone is equals to enter phone number. Let's see, yeah, this one, enter phone number, and then the last one is email. So see, this is just a basic one. We have not put the verification part as here. We can add that. Now we'll just begin with the if else ladder, that is elif. We have elif choice equals. Now if the choice is 2, then what will happen? We have name is equals to, and then we just enter. So what is the choice to? The number has to be deleted, right? So that name that is deleted, and then we'll call that, right? So that name is entered, and then we call that function or invoke that function. So the delete contact method or the function is called, and the name is passed there. That's it. No, nothing. We just pass the name because that accepts only one parameter. And if the choice is three, let's say elif choice is equals to three. What is it? Same thing. We need to search that contact, right? So we have name is equals to enter the name, and then we have search. Search contact is called for the name itself. Okay. Now we have choice four, that is print contact. So elif choice four is equals to four. We need to print contact. So the print contact won't accept any name. We just want to print all the contacts here. So print underscore contact. That's it. And then close the bracket. Now we have elif choice is equals to five. The last one, that is print goodbye, because that is the quit function we have, right? So it won't do anything. It will just quit. Okay. It will get out of the loop, and it'll just print goodbye. So let's say we have goodbye. That's it. And we need to do one thing, break. We need to break out from the loop, right? And then the last one is here, we'll close this with an else statement, that is else. What else will have is that if the user enters any other number from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll we'll say that, or we print something like invalid input. Please try again. So invalid input, invalid choice, let's say choice, and then we have please try again. Okay, that's it. Let's just save it and let's just give it a try now by running. We run the code. Running the code is just the play button here, which is there. And once the code is run, we have the menu items. We go ahead and select the method here. Let's say it's so okay. First one is add. So I just enter my name. So just enter, and then we can say plus 91, and then whatever digits or 9, 10 digits we have. Okay, that's a abrupt number, and the email address is let's say meet at the rate xyz.com. Okay, so that contact has been added now. Okay, so we can do one more thing is after this is there after the choice one is selected and after the user has been so when the user asks for this thing, okay, we didn't call the add contact. That is why, okay, so we need to call the add contact. We didn't invoke the function, so that is add contact. The add contact will have the name, it'll have the phone number and the email. That's it. Okay, so now let's just control C this and clear out, and let rerun the code. We just save it and rerun the code, because if you go ahead and search for the numbers here, if you search for a contact, we won't get any because there is nothing present here. So it depends on the like running the code, because if you want, you can store you can create a CSV file or something out of it, and that would be some different project altogether. That would be an add-on, or that would be a future scope, like creating a database out of any query you want, or storing the numbers in a CSV. But currently we are doing just this. We are adding the contacts here. So one, and then we add meet, and then we have +91, and then whatever numbers we have, and then the email address meet at the rate xyz. Okay, so we have now, see, meet has been added to your contact. Now if I want to search that contact details here, so if I press 3 here, this is in the loop, right? So if I just if I click my name here, I get all the contact details here, see, address. And then if I print, so this is just printing, so it'll print without any name choices. It will just print all the numbers, and If I want to delete that contact, I just have to enter the name of the contact to be deleted, and it will delete the contact books has been deleted. If you go ahead and try to print, there is nothing. See, there is nothing here. Okay, so the last option is 5, that is quit. If I just press this, it says goodbye. So now there is no contact saved, mind you. There is no document created, no contact saved here. If you want, you can create a database out of this, and that would be altogether a different project which we may work on. Okay, so that was the first project, and thank you
Hello,
so much.
friends, and
Happy
welcome
learning.
to this amazing lecture on the 10 apps with Python. So, in this lecture, we are going to, as you must have rightly guessed, develop an application which is currency converter using Python. So, for this, basically, what we need is we will be needing something called as import. We will need to import a library which is requests. Now, there will be a URL basically, and we will send some request to the URL and get some response. From that response, we will be getting the exchange rates basically, and that exchange rates we will be converting, or that response which we are getting, we will be converting that into JSON file, into a JSON, and that response will be directly converted into a JSON from which or from where we can have the rates, and then we'll have a function basically which will have the currency conversion uh, logic inside. So let's just basically start with the comments. So we will just import first, and to begin with, we will just import requests. And after we have imported the request, like if this is grayed out basically, so what we need to do, either change the version of the Python, or you can also you can also have it installed. So to install that library, you need to go to control and tilde, press control tilde to open the terminal. And then once the terminal is open, you can have pip install requests. So I feel that the request library is installed here, but it is not installed on this Python version. So let's just go there and install the Python version, the requests library here. So I guess this is saying that this is already satisfied, but then this version is the Python 3.10 version, which is there locally present here in the machine. That is a global version. Okay, so we have installed it. So now let's just begin with the comments so that we have the flow of the code. So we have API endpoint for the exchange rates. So here that will be coming. Now what we'll do next after this, after the endpoint, is we will be fetching the retrieving the exchange rates from the API. Okay, so that's the second thing which we are going to do. Now after that, we are going to define the function, that is define the function for the currency conversion. Okay, so there will be the logic for currency conversion, and at the end we'll have the usage. So let's say we have the usage. So this commenting, which we have done now. So if you must have seen, like we've not done that in the first lecture, in the first program, in the first project, but then found out that it's being found out that when you comment the code, it's easier for you also, first thing for you as well, to identify what part of the code does what, and what is the reason behind the code. And also it helps another developer to go and debug as and when it is required. So let's just begin with the URL, or let's just begin with the code. URL is equals to, and then we have it in double inverted commas. I've already copied it somewhere, so let's just copy it and I'll paste it here. Okay, so that's the URL which we have. Now we are going to retrieve the information or the exchange for the exchange rates. So here we have response is equals to, and then we have requests dot get. So we are using the get method, and what we are passing in the get method is the URL. Now after that we have exchange rates. So we have exchange rates is equals to, now that response which we've got already is basically if I just run this and response dot text, if I just print out exchange dot rates is equals to, let's say instead of this, like we just delete this and we just have print response dot text, response dot text, and we just save it and let's just give it a try. Let's just run this. Okay, so that's the exchange rate which we have. So we have converted into this. Now we need to upgrade this, like, so just forget about the warnings, but these are the conversion rates which are the latest ones, okay, from in respect to the USD. Okay, this is a V4, and if we want, like, we can upgrade it to V6 as they have mentioned here. But yeah, so that's the text. Okay, this is the text which we have got, provider, and then USD1 AED 2.6. So this is the rates here. Okay, so now this is the text. We don't want it this in text, so we want that in JSON, and that is why we have exchange underscore rates, and then we have, instead of doing this, we have response dot JSON, and then from that, if that whole data is converted into a response dot JSON, from that JSON value I fetch the rates, so I can just directly call your rates. So now if I just go ahead and print, let's check. If I print the exchange rates here, oh, sorry, exchange rates, so let's just see what do we get. See, so we just got the exchange rates here now, only the exchange rates, because that's converted into a JSON file. Okay, so we have done here. We don't need to print this each and every time. Just delete this. Now we define the function. So we need to define the function, that is convert currency. So we have define convert underscore currency, and that currency will accept, what will it accept? So first thing, it will accept the amount of currency you want to convert, the amount of value, amount of initial currency you want to convert. And then you have the from currency. From currency is like from which currency to which currency, right? So from currency and to currency. So then you have from underscore currency, and then you have to underscore currency, as it rightly guessed for us. And now we need to, like, the logic, we need to build the logic. So what will be the logic? The first thing is converting the amount to USD. So then first we'll just comment this, convert the amount to USD. So whatever the amount is, we'll convert that into USD. So USD amount, what is USD? USD underscore amount is equals to amount, and then that amount divided by whatever the exchange rates from currency. So exchange rates from currency. So we having exchange rates and then from currency. So we'll have exchange rates and then exchange rates, whatever exchange rates we have, like from currency, because that from currency will already given by the user, will be given by the user, right? So now, then after this, what do we do is we convert the USD from the USD to a desired currency, right? So we have hashtag convert from USD to desired or to currency, right? Whatever desired currency, right? Now, so we have the converted amount is equals to whatever the USD amount we have multiplied by the exchange rates to currency. So first we had from currency and then we had the to currency. And then now what we do is we return the, here it's as this is the function, we return the converted amount. Okay. So we are good to here now. And then we have so the logic and everything is in place. Now we just need to define the values here. So let's say we have amount is equals to 100 initially. Then we have from currency is equals to USD, or else from currency from USD we are converting INR. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. And to underscore currency we have, instead of euro we have INR. Okay, and now we have the converted amount. So for we'll have like for the converted amount we'll have converted underscore amount we'll have is equals to, and then we'll call or invoke the function. So it's like convert currency, and then for the convert currency we pass amount comma from currency comma to currency. So that's all in place now. And then what we do is we print. So for the print statement we have printing, we use the f string here. So f, and then have the whatever the amount is, amount, we have the amount, and then we have from currency, that is from underscore currency is equal to, first not is equal to, and then we have not the to currency, is equal to the converted amount, is equal to the converted amount. So we have the converted amount here, and then that converted amount would be in decimals. So we need dot, so that is to f up to two decimal places, and then with this of what, of the two currency. So that's it, and I guess we are almost done here. So that's the print statement, and there will be one more catch in this whole code. Let's just first give it a try. So it will directly convert and it will give us a value, and if we see it correctly, it's 82.62. That must be the value, because the $100 is equal to 88,262 in INR is equal to this much INR. Okay. So then instead of this, we can have the rupee symbol. Here, instead of this, we can have the rupee symbol as well. And there was one more thing. We can have the user enter the from currency and the to currency. So just taking the input from the user and asking enter the from currency. And here, instead of asking the user, instead of having it put statically, we are asking to currency. That's it. So here now what can happen is like just run this as a file, run it as a Python file, enter the values basically. So we'll have USD, and then we have INR. Also we can enter the amount also, again whatever the amount is, how much ever the amount is. So that can also be fetched from the user. So then this will become, all the usage part will become dynamic. So yeah, that's it. Okay. Let's just try it one more time and run the Python file, and let's just convert euro to INR. So EUR, and then we have INR, that is 8798.72 INR.
Hello,
Okay, so
friends, and
that's it,
welcome to
and
this
that was the
amazing
currency
lecture, the
converter
third
for
lecture,
you
where
guys.
we are
Please code
going
along,
to build a
and
music
happy
player
learning.
using
Thank you.
Python. So there are lots of courses and there are lots of projects being developed on Python, but the catch is that till you don't start coding or till you don't start
writing the code on your own and thinking some or the other logic, and whatever comes to your mind, whatever query comes to your mind, if you don't go ahead and Google that query, search that query, and if you don't search for the errors. So now in this era of ChatGPT, where it is the code and the logic is so handy for you guys that you can just go ahead and just put in your idea and the code will be ready for you. But the catch here is you need to understand which line of the code does what. So that won't be happening till you follow along and you have some hands-on. So here we are going to make a music player here in Python, and for that we need a library which is we'll be importing, that is Pygame, and also we'll be importing pygame.mixture, that is mixer, mixer. Now after we've imported this, we will be initializing the Pygame mixer. So let's say we initialize the Pygame mixer. So to initialize that, we have pygame.mixer.init init, and that will initialize the Pygame mixture for us. And also we need to initialize the Pygame. So we have pygame.init, and then we just close the brackets. Now we need to load the music for the music player, right? So for the mixer, so we have pygame.mixer.music, and then we have the load method, that is load. So here we'll be loading the music. So if you see here, I have the test.mp3 file here already in place. I'll just copy, and I'll copy the path here. Okay, so that's not what I need. I'll have copy path and paste it here. That's it. Now we need to set a volume. So let's say we have set volume, and for setting the volume we have pygame dot mixer dot music, sorry, dot mixer dot set underscore volume. So this is not the function, we have set underscore volume function here, and that initially we keep it as 0.5, so greater than 0 basically. And now we will have the music player started. So we have pygame play music, like, so comment is play music, and for playing that we have pygame dot mixer dot play for dot music dot play. Yeah. Now, so beginning with the while loop, we have while this is true, while true, we have, now there are some events in the music player, like some basic keys are pressed, volume is up or down, increased or decreased, etc. Right? So we have for event in pygame.event.get, we have like whatever the event is. If the quit, or if that is like the window is closed, and what will happen is we will just stop the music if the window is closed for sure. So if you come out of application, if you close the application, that application stops working, right? So we have event is equals to event dot type is equals to quit, and if that is quit, then we have pygame dot so we'll have to quit the mixer, that is mixer dot music dot stop. That's it. And then we quit the pygame as well. So pygame dot quit, and then we'll call the quit method here. So that's for the quit, that's for if the window is closed. Now we have the if else ladder. So L if we have the key down is pressed, if some key down, so let's say if what key is pressed, we'll have to look. So if this key is pressed, then do this, right? So if the key S is pressed, so now we have if event dot key pygame dot k underscore s,
K underscore, and we have S. So that's the key. S is pressed. So what will happen? We'll stop the music. That is pygame dot not quit, pygame dot music, or else it will be mixer dot music dot stop. Yeah, that's it. Now, so when will it play then? So here itself we'll have an elif statement, elif event dot key is equals to we have pygame and then P is pressed, so that will play. So we have pygame mixer dot music dot play. Okay, so we have the prompt here, and for the prompts, for the code prompts, basically what I use is we use a tab 9 starter. So you can go here to extensions, and then you can just press tab 9 and install the tab 9 extension here, and then it is an AI code completion. So now there are lots of code completions available. Now, elif we have the volume up and volume down. So we have elif event.key pygame.k underscore minus is pressed. So if k underscore minus is pressed, what we do is we have volume variable first. So that volume is equals to like initially set to something. So let's first get the volume. What is the volume initially? Dot mixer dot get music dot get underscore volume. We have the get volume method, and once the volume, so whatever volume you get here is stored in the volume variable. Now if that volume is greater than 0, what we do is, if that volume is greater than 0, only then that volume will be lowered, right? So you can't lower anything which is 0, right? So in terms of volume, I'm saying. So pygame, again, we'll set the volume now, and we lower it to set underscore volume. We have set underscore volume, and then whatever the volume we have minus whatever the volume we have minus 0.1. By a factor of 0.1, we'll decrease the volume. The same thing happens for increasing the volume as well. Now if you want to increase the volume, we have elif again, elif event dot key is equals to, and then that k, if that is pressed, like k and kp underscore plus. Yeah, that's it, kp plus. So what will happen here is we'll first have again the volume, get volume, that is stored here. Now if the volume is like, if it is less than 1, only then we'll increase the volume. Pygame dot mixer dot music dot set volume, and then we'll increase the volume by a factor of 0.1. That's it. We've increased and decreased the volume now. And so stop button is there for S. S is the stop button, P is the play button, minus decreases the volume, and plus increases the volume. And this is the mp3 file, that file which we need to play. Now I won't speak, and there'll be the test file. Let's just run this, save it and run this, and it will play. Okay, so we have some error, that is Unicode error, can't decode. Okay, so what we can do is instead of giving this path, we can just call this test mp3 itself, and let's give it a try. Okay.
Hello, this is Meet Jetwa from Learn, Apply and Build, and this is an audio for testing the OpenAI Whisper API. And we want to get this transcribed into whatever text we want. And it's 2nd of March, 10:42 p.m.
So that's about it. That's the window music player, and I didn't actually try with the stop and play button. So let's just press the
Hello,
S
this
button.
is Meet Jetwa from Learn Apply and Build, and this is an audio for testing the OpenAI Whisper API. And we want to get this transcribed into.
So yes, the it doesn't open any music player as such, and we can have this tried with a GUI. But yeah, that's the basic part of the music player, and happy learning.
Hello, friends, and welcome to this amazing lecture. And in this lecture, we are going to develop a file manager. So, before we get started, we will be importing some modules, that is, importing OS and then importing shutils, that is, import shutil package. Now, after this, we will just write the basis of our code. So, we'll just comment out what we are achieving. So, the first function will be the function to create a file. The second function will be to delete a file. Function to delete a file. Then the third function will be, let's say, a function to copy a file and a file to a new location. So the file has to be copied to a new location. And the last one, let's say, would be a function. That function to move the file to a new location. Okay, so that's the like skeleton. And now at the end there will be a main function where that function will be interacting with the user. So a main function with all the let's say a menu for the user. So main function to interact with the user. So whatever the user wants to select, let's say. Now here in the function, like in the code where we want to create a file. So let's say we start with the function initialization to create a file which will have a file path. So let's say this is the file path, and once the file path is given, so let's say we use a try catch. So we use a try block first. So we say with and then open. What will you open? So first we open the file path. So we open the file path, and if that is true, like if this is there, then what we do is like we pass, and so that is true, and then we print also that the file has been created at that particular path. So we use the f-string here, file created file, okay, at, and then we have the curly braces file underscore path. That's it. Now we use the except block, where inside the except block, like you print, there is some error, right? So we have with the f string error creating the file at that path. That's perfect. We have the autocorrect, or else we have the auto completion code. So both for this auto correction, auto completion part, and there are many extensions now available, but I am using the Tab9 extension. So if you go here, the extensions, and get the extension for yourself. So that's the code for creating a file. Let's just clear out the white space here. Now for the deletion of the file, we'll just use something like we'll be using the OS review, the OS so library. So delete file with the file path in that mention. So we use the try block again. So what we do is OS dot remove the file path. Like the whole file path has to be removed. So means the whole file will be removed, right? So we now print that the deleted file at file underscore path, and then deleted has to be deleted.
And if this is not the case, we put an except block where we have the printing of the error, that is print would not leave the file at path and then complete. Right? So that's the delete function here. I'm clearing out the white space here, and now we create the function for copying the file. So let's say we create a function copy underscore file and then again the file path. Now here, if you see, we have already mentioned copying the file to a new location. So from one location, the file will be sent to new location, right? Copy to a new location. So we'll have a new file path. Let's say new file path. So here we will use the try log for and we use the shutil library. So shutil package dot for the copy function. Copy, and then where it will be copied from the file path to the new path. Okay, and then what we do once this is done, print that. We print that the file has been copied at. Copy the file at or not at. So this will be from this to here it will be to new file path. Okay, and then just end this. That's it. So now if this doesn't happen, we just have the except block saying that we print the error failed to copy file from to. That's it. Okay, and the actually that's it. So let's just clear out the white space again. Now to move the file, I guess like this is the same thing which we will be needing, but instead of copy, we will be needing the move method in SHUT. So let's just create the file move underscore file, and it will have file path from the new file underscore path. Same thing, and then we have the try block. With the try block, we'll have shutil dot move and then new underscore file path. Then we print the statement successfully moved file from, and then we have the file path. This two. Okay, we need F string here. That's it. Now for the except here we couldn't move, right? So the error would be error moving file. So we just print that out. Print that out and fail to move file from this path to that path. That's it. So we have completed all the 4 functions. Now let's just clear this out, and we have almost reached 35 lines of code as of now. Now we'll start developing, making the main function. So in this main function, we'll be using a while loop first initially. So we just define the main function, that main and while true. So the user has started while true is like the code has started now while true. What will happen is we first print the statements basically. So we first print and we have 10. So this will print all the lines in the next line. So we have asking the user select the option. And let's say we have a space after that, and then we print the first one, that is first option for the user. The first option is one dot copy file. Okay, now let's just copy and paste these instead of typing. We have Control C and then paste it below. The second option is delete a file. We have delete a file. The third option is copy the file. That's it. Okay, the first one is create a new file. So let's say create a new file. So we're creating a new file here. Now the last one, fourth one, fourth one is move, right? Move a file. Now, so we have the menu here, and the last one will be the last option has to be if the user enters something else, or if the user wants to exit the code from the while loop is coming out, right? So you just have to have the option of exit. Okay, so now we will need to have the user have a choice. So like inside the while loop itself, we have to have a variable of, let's say, choice is equals to, and then asking the user for the input. So input, and then we have enter your choice from, like, enter your choice, and then you have 1 to 5, right? So 1 to 5. Okay, now the user enters a choice. Let's say the user enters an option 1. So if, and then you have choice equals 1. So now when you select this one, and when the user types a 1, there's a difference. When the user types a 1 here, the input is always taken as a string, and here you are comparing it with a number, so it won't be allowing you to read this as a string. If the user selects a choice as 1, so what we need to do? We need to have a file path, right? So that will have a file underscore path, and then we will have to ask the path from the user. So we'll have input, and we will ask the user for the input, and then we have enter the file path. Yeah. So after the file path has been added, we will invoke the function which is the create file, right? So create file will accept the file path. Now the same thing is, like, we can just copy this and paste it here, or instead we just type it. So let's say if the user selects the choice is equals to, let's say the choice is 2. Now if the choice is 2, we have again the file path, because it is again deleting it. So the file path, the file path, and then just let's purify the code of it, space, compute, and close it. So now we call the delete file function, and then the file path is added. Now, so the creation of the file is done, deletion of the file is done. Now we have elif, and then the choice is equal to elif choice if choice is equal to, and let's say 3. So after that we need to do something. Now the 3 is like you have a file path, and then we'll also have a new file path, right? So new file path is equals to, again, the same thing, input new file path, right? Now we need to call the copy file, that is copy file, which will accept file path and new file path. That's it. Now we have the last function for the code, which is again the same thing, file path, we take file path, enter the file path and the new file path, because this is going to move, right? New file path, enter the new file path here. Okay, and then we invoke the move file here, and then we pass the file underscore path and comma new file, right? So this is done, and the last choice is like if we select, the user selects an option 5. So what we do is we break from the while loop, that is exit, right? So we break from the while loop, and then last statement is else. So what does the else statement do? The else statement does, like, if the user, instead of giving so much inputs and everything and the menu, even if the user enters some value which is like not from 1 to 5, so what happens now? So we just print out that this is an invalid choice or invalid input. So invalid choice. Okay. Summation. Please try it. Right? That's it. Okay. So now we've almost completed with the code, and just winding up. So we have if the name is underscore mains, we have all main function, invoking the main function here. That's it. Let's save it. Okay, move these, and let's just checking the code that there is no error. Let's just run this. Okay, so while you've done it, let's see whether we have a file. So first we create a new file. So for the path, we can give the path for the same folder. Let's say we can give this path here, and we can create a new file, and the file name I'll be telling you 1 second. So we have to first create a new, right? So first one, and then copying the path here, and then we have a file created. That file would be basically, let's say, a text editor. Let's say, so that would be a text editor. So instead of this whole file name, say text underscore edit dot py. Down, press enter. I think so the file has been created, and creating the file, press A. So it should have given us an option, or it should have given us a final output. So let's see if the text edit has been created. Yes, it has been created successfully. But then why are we passing this server? So instead of pass, it has to be printed. So after the pass, this it doesn't be created. Okay, we use this created. Okay, so that's the file created. Now let's just delete that same file. So we select the option 2 here and enter the same path. Okay, enter this path, the whole file. Okay, let's delete it. So deleted the file at that. The text edit file has been deleted. Okay, now let's just copy some file from, let's say, desktop or somewhere else, and so let's have a text document or a JPG file, and we'll just copy the path of that. Copy as path, and what we do is we select option 3, we paste it here, and so that's just a JPG file, and let's see now that is pasted here. So new file path is the file path of the folder, this folder. So we just have to copy the path here and paste it here, and then remove this. So let's see if that is pasted here. That's pasted here. That's just a file, a logo file or an image. That's about it. And if you want to move the file, the same thing is that we just so if you select the option 4, you select the same options, select this, and I want to move that to the new path, that is this. So I just move it from this folder. Now that file has been moved, has been moved. Page to move from C. Okay, so let's check if that's there. Yeah, it's already there, but I guess that must be already present. So let's just delete. Okay, so that's the file manager actually, and if I just press 5 to exit the code, so that's the whole code for us. That is the file manager. We can also have this file manager a bit more simplified using the GUI. Okay, so GUI based some applications like a text editor, and we'll be doing those applications in the coming lectures. So thank you so much, and happy learning. Lecture where we are developing 10 Python projects back to back, and here in this code we are going to develop a text editor using Python. So mind you, this will be exactly similar and a replica of a text editor which you have, like basically notes which you have here. So in the Windows machine, and also if you can run it on a Mac, and it will look very identical to the notes app. So let's get started. Here, in this, this will be a basic GUI based application. So you can see, visualize the nodes, and you can visualize uh, the window. So you can just start with importing the Tinker, that is Tinker package, Tinker as TK, and from Tinker, what we do is from Tinker we import a file dialog. It's not dialog, it's file dialog. Now we create a class for text editor where all the text area and the title and everything will be added. Basically, what menu bar will have and what all items will be there. So you have basically some things which are that is a new, open, save, exit. Then you will have the file in the menu, like those things. So in the menu bar, right? So let's just get started with the class first, and we have class as a class text editor, and inside this text editor, I just define the init function as self and then master. So this will have so what we do is we have the self dot master is equals to master. Now the master has a title, that is master dot title. So that master dot title of the type we have mistake typo. So we have self dot master. Now this master will have this method here. I just put a dot after this master and I put title, master dot title, and that will have, or that will be called as the text editor. Now we have self dot text area, and that self dot text area is equals to tk dot and then text, tk dot text, that will have master first thing and comma, undo is equals to true, undo is equals to, and then the given value, right? So after this we have text area dot back. So backing the text itself for text area dot set, that we have back dot back, and then we have fill is equals to, and then we have tk dot both, and then both will be caps, all caps. After this we have expand is equals to true again, boolean value expand equals to true. That's it. Now we start with the menu bar. We start coding the menu bar now. So we have menu bar is equals to, and then we have k dot menu, and everything will be having the master, and it will be related to the master now. So inside the master again, the menu bar will be present and the file menu which is there. So we have created a variable that will be file menu is equals to, and then tk dot menu. After the master we have dot comma, and then thereof is equals to 0. Save. Okay. Now we have some commands in the file menu. So once this file menu is created and it is linked to the master, now this file menu you can use it. So file menu dot first we need file menu dot, and then there are some commands. So we have add command. So there are some commands now. So that command will be first is label is equals to first one, that is new. So when you create a new file, right, new, and the comma, and then command is equals to what? Command is equals to self dot new, and underscore file. That's it. Now the same thing we can do is like for the open and save. So we'll have file menu dot add command here, and now this will be open. So that will be open file. And the last one will be file underscore menu label is equals to, we'll have save, that will have save. Right? Now we have to add a separator. Right? So file menu dot not add command. Do this later on. the delete one or the exit one will be basically, you can't delete it, we will be just editing, copying, pasting it, and modifying it, right? So here we have, instead of add command, we just add a separator, add underscore separator, yeah, that one, add separator, and then just close it. Okay, just close it. After this, we have again the add command. After the separator, we will have exit. So let's just copy and paste it, or just type it file add command, and that command will be exit, and that will give you. So now this will have self dot master dot master dot quit. Now master dot quit. Right? Something like that. Now we add like a cascade for the menu bar. So we have menu bar dot add underscore command, and that label will be let's say not a command. So we are adding a cascade here. So add underscore cascade, and that cascade having a label like say file. So that file will be what? That file will be linked to menu is equals to the file. So we have menu is equals to the file menu like this. So as and when we run the whole code, we'll be visualizing this each and everything here. Okay, and mind you, this is a code which is a bigger one, a bit bigger. So please follow along. And so yeah. Now the next one would be like need for the edit menu. So we'll have edit, and edit menu is equals to. So I feel that we have not created the edit one or the edit menu. We'll just create file here. Yeah, but no worries. We'll have edit menu dot add command again, and the label is undo. Undo, and then the file or the command would be command dot command is equals to self dot text area dot, and then basically text area dot edit undo, edit, and then we have undo. But yeah, this won't work here because we've not specified or we've not declared the edit menu variable. So edit underscore or edit menu is equals to, we have tk dot and then menu, and that menu, this is included in the menu bar. So we have the menu bar, comma, and then again the pair of this. Pair of is equals to 0. Pair of is equals to 0. Now this will work. So this was the edit menu. For undo, now we have edit menu for dot add command. For redo, that's it, and then we have edit redo. So commands. Now again we add a separator after the edit menu. So for the edit menu separator, edit menu dot add, and then we have to add separator function here, and then just close. Now we have the cut, copy, paste in the edit. So we have cut, copy, and paste in the edit menu itself. So edit menu dot add command, the label is cut, okay, cut, and then comma, command is equals to self dot and then cut. So that's it for the cut. Now edit menu again for copy, same thing, and last one for paste. So we have edit label is equals to paste, and then the command is self dot paste. The last one is we add the cascade for the edit, that is menu bar, the menu bar itself. So menu bar dot add underscore cascade, and that will be adding the label will be label is equals to edit. So that will be edit, comma, we'll have menu is equals to, and then that will be edit. So we don't have any action here. So whenever this menu, whenever you call this edit, that is this label, when you click that, this edit menu is called. Whenever you click the file, this file menu is called. That's it. That's about it. Okay, and now finally we just have the master config, that is master.config, and that will be given to menu is equals to member. So we'll have menu is equals to menu bars, the menu bar, right? So the whole menu bar is now displayed, which will have the new file, open, save, exit, etc. Right? Now, so when and where or how will the files be called, right? So let's start giving the functions now one by one, that is def, and then once we have the new file created, so new underscore file, and that new file will have self, the file name. So initially we don't give a file name, when we save it we give a file name, right? So new file, and then that will have self.text area dot delete, and then the delete will be having parameters 1.0 comma tk dot then end. So that's the new file. For the new file, now def, and then we have opening the file. So open a file, selecting the open button. So we have file underscore path is equals to, and then that will have file dialog dot open file, or will ask, right? File dialog dot ask, will ask open file name, and then close. So whatever file name is displayed, you just open it. Now where open, and then already that file path is there, right? With open the file path, comma, and then the file is being read. So we have R file path as the file. So once this is there, what will happen is all the text area will be filled with that file content, right? So we have self dot text area dot insert, then what will that insert? That will insert tk dot end, and comma file. Whatever is read from the file to the end will just display. That is it, right? That is how you open a file. Okay. Now saving the file. So yeah, we'll have save underscore file, that will have self as the parameter, and we have, so to save the file again, ask the save as file name. So we have file path again, file underscore path, and then that's it. What we do, file dialog ask save and file name. Let's say we have one more thing here. We have save file name, and if you see we have ask as file name. See, ask save as file, save as file name, that one. So that's it. The file is saved now. So once we save the file, what we can do is, once we save the file, so that file is saved, and then we again do the we are writing that all the data with which was there inside that file, which is saved with open, and then the file path, with the file path, comma, and then we are writing, so w, what happens is, as file, to save it, and then what will happen here, you will write it, right? So file dot write self dot text area dot get, and then here we have one dot go, comma, tk dot end. That's it. We need one more bracket to close here. Now, so the saving part is done, new file creation is done, opening file is done, saving part is done. Now we have just a few things left, almost done with 70% or 80% of the code, you can say. Now we have function for cut, copy, paste. So we have def cut, and then that cut will have self parameter, and after the self, so we have self dot text area dot event. Okay, that's event generate, and that event generation will be double quotes. We have cut it, so that will be it for the cut function. Now we have def and then copy. Same thing for the copy, self dot text event generate copy, and the last one def paste self, and then we'll have self dot string event generate or paste. That's it. Now last 3 lines of the code left. Now all the commands and all the code and all the functionality is being down. Now to visualize your code and to visualize your activity or your window basically. So what we need to do is we need to visualize root is equals to and then have assigned to tk, that is tinter dot tk, and tk, and then just use this. Now give or we pass our root to the text editor class which we had. So we just create a function of text. So let's say text underscore editor, and once that is done, we have text editor is equals to what? Our text editor function class which we have created, and we pass that to this. Now that root will be the main loop, right? So root dot main loop, and then just close. So we've done with the whole code for the text editor. Now let's just give it a try. Let's just run this and it will open in a Python window here. Once it is done executing, let's wait for a while. Yeah, that's it. So if you see here, we had file and edit. So if you can visualize this here, we had file and we had edit. So those were the labels in the menu. So this is a file. A file will have all these. So you can see that. Move, open, save. And then you add a separator. So that's the separator, and then exit here. And after that, now see, this has taken a view or a look and feel of a Windows machine. And if you run it on a Mac, you will get the view and feel of a text editor on a Mac. So all these will be visualized as a Mac for the Mac. See, if you see this edit, that is undo, redo, and become a separator, and then you cut, copy, and paste. And you can go here and type anything. So this is a Python-based text editor, right? And you just go here and save. So you can ask if it will ask us for save as. Let's save it and text edit. Right? Save it on the desktop. That's saved. That's the saved file, right? If you go ahead and open it, it will ask from where do you want to open it, and you just open it from here. That's it. This was already there, right? So this is not here. This is already there, and that is why you just gave us this. So we just okay. So there is no file or where it is. We just deleted that. That's why. Just save it. And no, edit, you want to replace it. Now that's there. Okay, we select new and then we select new. When we select open and in the text edit, see it's there. So that's it. That's about it. That's the text editor in Python. So you can add some cool stuff here and so this can be also packaged as an exe file here. This can be also done as an exe file. So yeah, and we'll be putting codes, we'll be putting some videos regarding that as well. Thank you and happy learning.